In my last bird story video, I left off with Blue and Sweet Girl's little ones being on their own, and Blue and Sweet Girl starting to lose their feathers on their head from the molt. This is where I will pick up from, showing all of the jays as well as other birds throughout the remainder of the summer. Enjoy! It's well into summer and there are all kinds of interesting and neat critters around. I even spotted a dragonfly I have never seen before. I believe it's a red meadowhawk. Summer has been an unusually hot one, and spring was unusually cold, which seemed to affect the blueberries. For the last several years, I'd see the blueberries turning blue by late July. None have turned blue yet. The wild strawberries are out though, and although not nearly as big as the ones you'd find in grocery stores, they are much better. Just about all of the jays have lost their head and neck feathers by now because of the molt, like Hermoso and Abby here. Blue and Sweet Girl, however, are only beginning to lose theirs, and even a few juveniles are starting to molt too. Feisty Jays, though, are almost entirely back. He was the first of my jays to molt. The jays aren't the only ones molting these days. Chickadees are too, like my little buddy Tiny. All of her tail feathers are noticeably different lengths, as new ones replace the ones that have already fallen out. It seems that the goldfinches have started to molt as well. I've been seeing a juvenile gray jay hanging around the area lately. Probably came from the gray jay pair I saw back in spring across the highway. They look so different from adults, almost like an entirely different species. This little guy is molting though and will look more like a gray jay soon. I've been wanting a gray jay to stay here for the last 5 years, but every juvie that comes here never seems to last. It seems that Hermoso is pretty emotional today, all because of Feisty Jay being around him and Abby. Blue jays are such silly goofs. A little jay was hanging around too. I knew instantly that it was one of Squawky's, the little one Minnie Blue would hang around with. I saw one of my crow buds too, Ernie and Bert. I haven't seen them in weeks. I've known Ernie since 2015 when it was a baby. It was so nice to see them. Nearby, I also saw a cedar waxwing pair. I don't see these birds often, but I love it when I do. Today was a short day, and on my way home, a chipmunk I think I may have known for a few years now came by. I gave him some seeds, but it wasn't long before something caught his attention. Another chipmunk interested in some of his seeds. A chase quickly followed. Cute little rascals. Blue and Sweet Girl are completely bald now from the molt. It's neat to see their ears, the visible holes on the sides of their head. Pretty different from other animals. I find that seeing a bald jay like this really helps to show just how many feathers birds have. The difference between the size of the body full of feathers and the naked head is incredible, not to mention kinda comical too. In 2 or 3 weeks they should have all of their feathers back. I saw Sweet Girl take a jab at this little wasp nest. I thought she might continue, but she didn't. I figured maybe there were too many wasps. They will do it though. I noticed a curious fledgling white-throated sparrow that was watching me. They look pretty different from the adults. Shortly after, a white-throated sparrow buddy of mine dropped by with a grub in its bill, likely for its babies. Or it could be for the little guy I saw. Feisty Jay showed up a little while later. I put some peanuts on a stump for him and watched with admiration at his ability to always find a way to take 2 peanuts at once. Crafty bugger. Sweetgirl dropped by and had a quick snack, as did Blue, although his feathers seemed to be the main priority. Snowy, another blue jay I know, came by too, but was more interested in sunning than peanuts. Kiwi, one of the male nuthatches, dropped by, and I even got a quick glimpse of one of the little ones. On the way home, I checked that wasp nest again, and it was completely gone. I guess Sweetgirl ended up finishing it off after all. The grass of the cattails are so tall and green now. I love watching them sway back and forth in the wind. I saw another fledgling white-throated sparrow today. They are very drab without those bright yellow lures above the eyes. It wasn't long before I found an emotional hermoso, all because of Feisty Jay being around. He went to Abby and stood guard by her the whole time. Feisty Jay's mate Belle was here too. A little ways up I found Blue and Sweetgirl. Their feathers are already starting to grow back. They look as if they just had a haircut, or in their case, a feather cut. Nearby I saw a cute male downy woodpecker preening. He's looking a little rough around the edges because of the molt. After his preen session, he went to do what woodpeckers do best: peck trees in search of grub. I'm not sure what it was, but I saw Hermoso pick something off of Abby's feathers. Such tender love. Blue got a little ticked off with him being here, as was evident by his sounds. A peanut settled him down, though.
Good boy.
Before I left, I saw one more of my little guys, Dart. He was nearby preening. He seemed good and irritated. But his mate Patch is looking more rough than him. Darn annoying molt. I was pleasantly surprised to see Ernie and her little crew again today. Her family used to be a little more than half a dozen back in 2016, but it seems the other family members have moved on further for some reason. I suspect that is where Ernie and the other two go when I don't see them for a period of time. It was nice to see them. I saw another fledgling white-throated sparrow today. Seemed to be seeing a lot of them this year. I noticed that the raspberries are looking decent these days. In fact, I spooked the cedar waxwing up out from eating them as I walked through. I didn't know he was there. I hate disturbing wildlife. While on my way to visit Hatch and Maggie, I came up on that bull moose I've been seeing, and way too close for my comfort. I think he felt the same way about me. In the woods, I found Hatch upside down on a limb, probably searching for some food. Before I left for the day, I saw a couple of squirrels get into a fight. Turf war, likely. Never a dull moment. Today I was greeted by an upset Sweetgirl. This was because of Hermoso. Her and Hermoso do not seem to like each other at all. I often wonder if they are related, like brother and sister or something. Wasn't long before Blue showed up to be by her side. Blue and Sweetgirl are looking really good these days with their fresh new feathers. I got to see a bird I've never seen before. It was actually one of like a half a dozen, I'm guessing a family. We get 4 different kinds of wren on the island, and I'm pretty sure this one is the winter wren. It was cool to see, but I almost got a way better photo until Blue messed it up for me. Little bugger. Good thing I think the world of that jay. It seems I see those black and white warblers all the time. These guys are just as good as nuthatches with how they walk around trees. Even got itself a spider. Shortly after, I heard some fledgling jays. Late in the year for these guys. They belong to another pair I know really well, Webster and Snowy. They were late with these babies because their first nest failed and they had to try again. It's good to see that it worked out for them the second time around. I noticed that the blueberries are looking much better now. Some are still not ripe though. I saw other berries too. I really don't know what these are called, but they aren't really big and I don't know if they are edible or not. The last birds I saw on my way home was Kiwi and Lentil. These two are darling little birds and have come a long way with their trust for me. Summer seemed to go by so quickly, but it was a lovely one, and I'm ready to see the beautiful colors of autumn. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'd love to know if you guys would like me to continue these bird story videos. Comment below and let me know. Happy birding!